Let's get back to the debt debate. President Obama sitting down with leaders from both sides of the aisle to try and hammer out a deal to avoid possible default. Two of the big sticking points, raising taxes versus cutting spending, of course. My next guest has signaled a willingness to consider closing tax loopholes if the conditions are right. Wyoming Senator John Barrasso serves on the Republican leadership team as vice chair of the Senate Republican Conference. Hello, Senator.
Hi, Allison. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So the meeting between the president and these top congressional leaders got underway about an hour ago. Is it your sense that they may strike a deal today?
Well, they'll start talking about those sorts of things. I'm still looking to hear the details. Allison, in the next hour, I'm going to be sitting down with Mitch McConnell as well as Speaker Boehner to see what the president is offering and what the mix is going to be. Fundamentally, the people of this country are worried about jobs and getting back to work, and we need to make sure that we are not spending too much. To me, that's the problem. It's not that we're taxed too little in this country, it's that Washington spends too much.
Yeah, you know, it seems as though both sides were getting closer to each other. It was reported this week that President Obama is open to making some sort of changes or cuts to entitlements, namely Social Security. Are you encouraged?
Well, I am encouraged because we know the entitlements of Social Security as well as Medicare are really the tidal waves that are coming at us financially. Also, we need to strengthen those programs, not just for people that are currently on them, but for the future. So I'm encouraged to see the president at least willing to address the needed changes in Social Security as well as in Medicare.
But now, in exchange, it sounded as though the president wanted revenue increases. Some people call those tax hikes. Are you open to making a deal like that?
I want to see revenue being increased through having a vibrant, robust economy, putting more of these 14 million people who are looking for jobs back to work. Then they're paying taxes, and that'll increase the revenue coming in. But all of these regulations coming out of Washington are making it harder and more expensive for the private sector to create jobs. And we need to make it easier and cheaper for the private sector to create jobs.
So what about closing some tax loopholes that the president has talked about? Earlier today, Congressman Eric Cantor was on Fox and Friends. Let me play for you what he said, in which he sounded open to that. Listen.
We don't like loopholes and preferences. It's not good for overall economic growth. We want to bring down rates and reform the system, but if he wants to plug that loophole, we got to see offsetting tax cuts somewhere else, because the priority is jobs. It's about getting people back to work, and we're not for raising taxes, period.
Are closing tax loopholes a good place to start?
Well, they are if it's balanced with a lowering of overall tax rates. That's how you encourage job creation. Even Bill Clinton has said the corporate tax rates in this country are making us as a nation uncompetitive. We need to be competitive globally. So if you lower tax rates and kind of cut out some of this underbrush and a number of these deductions that you talk about, I think that would be a good start in getting more people back to work.
Senator John Barrasso, we shall see what comes out of this meeting today at the White House. Thanks so much for joining us with your thoughts.
Thank you, Allison.